Alright, this is Atlas's third time with the fly spray, so I'm just kind of putting him in position here so the camera can see. I did his right side already, so I'm going to just show you the left side. I'm doing the exact same thing. So I just sprayed him on the shoulder. As soon as I sprayed, I clicked at the same exact time, and now I'm going to just feed him. So as you saw in the first two videos, like I started out him just touching it, there I sprayed again, and I'll click and feed, and then I got closer and closer until I was spraying him on the shoulder, and now I'm going to kind of move down his body and then just keep spraying and clicking every time I spray to reward him for it. So then eventually him hearing the spray, he knows he's going to get food, so it's going to be that secondary reinforcer. So Larry sprayed him on the neck and clicked him, and go ahead and feed him. So he's really staying pretty relaxed this whole time. There, I'm going to click again. So I start on his shoulder, kind of work my way down his legs, do a little on his neck, and then I'll work my way back. But he's staying nice and relaxed. He's staying connected. Click again. Just every time I spray, I click. And then I'll do 2 sprays, and I'll click. And then I'll do 3 sprays, and then I click. And then that's kind of how you do it. So like right now, I can spray the whole horse, and then I click. And then you spray the whole horse, and then they're fine unless they go backward for whatever reason. But yeah, it worked out really well for him actually, because there was no running, there was no chasing. He just was fine with it from the beginning, and it worked out pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I just kind of do his whole body here, spray there, click. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with all of that. So other horses can be much more difficult, obviously. If you have one that has a bad experience with the fly spray, you're going to have to pair it to food a lot more, and it could take longer. Atlas has never seen this. He didn't understand anything about fly spray, so it was a lot easier to just go in there and have that positive association from the beginning. It's much harder to repair something and make it positive that when it was negative previously. So but I just kind of work my way down. So I'm just doing like 2 sprays and then clicking and then going ahead and feeding him. And if you were getting worried, I would go back to 1 spray, and then if he was getting really worried and leaving, I would just go back to him touching the bottle, then making sure are you okay when I just spray next to you without it landing on him, and then going back to just spraying on his shoulder and working my way up. So this is the first time he's actually seen the fly spray. So I'm just going to show him the bottle, and I'll click him and give him a treat right there. I'll click him when he touches the bottle. So obviously it's going to sound a little bit different than the water spray bottle. It's going to smell different. It might even feel a little different because the spray bottle's nozzles are a little bit different, but overall it should transfer. If you have a bunch of problems, I would just use up this or pour it into a different bottle and then just put water in this so you're not wasting it, but you're practicing with the bottle that you're going to use. And then also be aware, like if you change brands, the horse might get worried if they're very, very sensitive. But usually they generalize pretty well and you should be fine. But he was a little nervous about it. It's a different looking bottle, so I'm just letting him touch it and clicking him and rewarding him for touching it. So just letting him target it and build some confidence with it. So that really helps out a lot with different objects. So because he's not quite so sure about it. But then eventually, like, I'll have him move. So, like, when I do the other side, I just kind of hold out the bottle and move with it, and he follows it like a target, and then I spray the other side. So it works out really well. But I don't show that in this video, but I do that now. So I'm just building his confidence because he had his neck up a little bit. He was a little worried, and now he's fine. So I spray him on the shoulder, and I click, and I do the same exact thing that I did with the water. Just pretend like it's the same exact bottle. No big deal. So same thing, sprayed two times, then I clicked. Again, can go back to just 1 spray if the horse is worried, but he's totally fine here. He's chewing, his ears are moving, his neck's relaxed, like he's totally fine. So pretty good experience for his first official fly spray. So I'm gonna click and go ahead and feed. So I'm pretty happy with this whole thing with him. Atlas can be sensitive and worried about certain things, but with the fly spray, he actually did pretty well. Because I've had other horses that have tried other things and a lot of negative reinforcement to get them over it, and it just did not work. You could try and try forever while you're kind of holding on to them with the halter and spraying, and it would just not stick. It never stuck at all, like in their mind. So this worked out much better. So, and I'm just going to work my way back and continue to spray and click for every spray or every 2 sprays. Just kind of depends, and then I'll move up again to 3 or 4 or 5 sprays, and then I'll spray the whole horse and click and eventually fade it out altogether. But he did really well for his first official fly spray.